Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating tactical hypotheticals in football right now. How Alejandro Garnacho would fit into Enzo Maresca's Chelsea. Now Garnacho is one of the brightest young attacking talents in world football, dynamic, fearless and explosive in transition. On the other side, we've got Maresca, a coach who has arrived at Chelsea and is trying to impose a possession-heavy positional play system, one that draws heavy inspiration from Pep Guardiola. So the big question is, would Garnacho thrive under Maresca, or would he clash statistically with what Chelsea are trying to build? Let's break this down step by step. Maresca's Chelsea is based on possession, controlling rhythm of games, and always south numerical superiority in midfield. His structure is very Guardiola is sequenced, a back four that moves into a 3+1 build-up, double pivots when needed, and wingers who stretch play but are also highly disciplined. The key to this philosophy is patience with the ball and creating overloads in specific zones. Players like Cole Palmer at Chelsea have already shown how much they can thrive in such a system: intelligent positioning, creative passing, and calmness in tight areas. Now Garnacho, his strengths are undeniable. He's devastating in transitions, rapid over 10 to 20 yards, direct in 1v1 situations, and has a knack for scoring big goals. He thrives when he can receive the ball early and drive at his fullback. He's less comfortable when teams sit deep and force him to operate in tight spaces. His decision-making in build-up sequences can also be inconsistent. Under Maresca, who demands precision and patience in possession, Garnacho would need to adapt. But here's the exciting part. With the right coach, his natural dynamism could give Chelsea an entirely new dimension. Now Palmer would likely play a hybrid role, sometimes as an inverted winger, sometimes as an advanced 8. This is where Garnacho comes in. If he were to play on the left wing, stretching play, Palmer could drift into central zones, linking with Enzo Fernandez and the striker. The contrast between Palmer's composure and Garnacho's explosiveness could actually balance Chelsea's attack. Palmer dictates tempo while Garnacho breaks it. In midfield, Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo, the heartbeat of Chelsea's structure. Enzo's ability to break lines with progressive passes could release Garnacho into space even against low blocks. Meanwhile, Caicedo's defensive security would allow Garnacho to stay higher up the pitch, ready to spring into action. Essentially, this would provide the platform for Garnacho to focus on attacking output without being overly burdened by defensive transitions. Estevao contrasts with Garnacho's directness. Imagine a front three of Garnacho on the left, Estevao on the right, and Palmer floating between the lines. That's flair, unpredictability, and creativity in abundance. And Liam Delap, a striker with raw physicality and pressing ability, he could be the perfect number 9 to complement wingers like Garnacho, making runs that drags defenders out of position and opening space for the Argentine to cut inside. Pedro Neto, when fit, is a versatile winger who can play both flanks, combining dribbling with work rate. Neto in the squad alongside Garnacho, Maresca could rotate between explosive wide men and more technically secure options. Neto's defensive diligence might make him a safer pick in certain games, while Garnacho could be unleashed in matches where Chelsea expect more space to attack. This balance would give Maresca tactical flexibility, Neto for structure, Garnacho for chaos. João Pedro can play as a false nine, drop into midfield and link play. In a Maresca system, that role could be crucial. João Pedro leading the line, his dropping movement could create pockets of space for Garnacho to attack from the wing. Service roles giving Garnacho the platform to focus on his explosive runs into the box. One area Garnacho would absolutely need to improve is his defensive discipline. Maresca's system requires collective pressing, positional intelligence, and tracking back when necessary. At Manchester United, Garnacho has sometimes been criticized for switching off without the ball. At Chelsea, with a position-heavy system, his pressing would need to become more coordinated and his positioning more precise. If he can buy into that, he becomes not just a luxury winger but a complete modern attacker. Garnacho would give Chelsea something they currently lack: a true vertical threat in behind, a winger who can break open games and share pace with directness. Surrounded by technical players like Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, Estevao, and João Pedro, he wouldn't have to carry the creative burden alone, and with the defensive cover of Caicedo, his weakness his weakness could be masked. And ultimately, if Chelsea want to combine structured possession with explosive unpredictability, Garnacho might just be the missing piece. And that's how Garnacho could fit into Enzo Maresca's Chelsea. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more tactical content, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Would Garnacho actually thrive in this system, or would he struggle to adapt? Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.